Welcome back everyone, my name is Misha, this is Roofing Insights and video number 5 of our shingle comparison test. In this video guys, we're comparing shingles behind me, 7 brands, on who makes the best nailing zone. Thanks for coming. There's 3 main reasons why we pay close attention to nailing zones. Number 1, it eliminates human errors. Let's face it, you have a whole bunch of hardworking guys high on the roof, on a steep, working, trying to nail these guys in and on a daily basis. And if you don't understand where to nail, or if nailing zone is way too small, you're gonna void the warranty and you're not gonna do a good job. And the best of the best guys out there still will fail because it's not clear where to nail, or maybe it's too small, because we're all humans, we make mistakes. Reason number 2 why nailing zone is important, because it protects manufacturer warranties. I've seen a lot of claims in my life where manufacturers comes to inspect the job where shingles don't perform as well as they should, or maybe they're blow-offs, or maybe they didn't seal. And the easiest way out for manufacturer not to pay on a claim, on a quality claim, on a product failure claim, is to say that it was not properly installed. They simply do this. They come in, they lift up shingles, and they say, well, you nailed too high, it's supposed to be here, boom. And they walk away. Why? Because on the back of their packages, you always see manufacturer instructions. However, it's really hard to follow them if nailing zone is hard to understand or very thin. So roofers, just to save the headache, a lot of times they will simply run, and I've seen actually defects with the shingles where if you follow the line, your shingles will be exposed. So unfortunately, roofers were forced to nail higher, putting in risk their company reputation, because if something will happen, manufacturer have that room to walk away from their warranty. And the reason number 3, and probably the biggest one of all, if you don't understand the nailing zone, or you install nails a little bit higher, you completely void wind warranty, but also your shingles probably will start flying out at some point, especially if you live in high wind areas, like by the coast or somewhere in the open spaces. What's happening, and what people don't understand, that it's one of the biggest problems in the roofing industry when it comes to claims and failures. Each shingle supposed to be nailed twice, right here and at the top. And by nailing higher, and a lot of times it happens because nailing zone is bad. It's not always workmanship problem. A lot of times it's manufacturer problem. When you nail higher, you're literally only getting 4, maybe 6 nails per shingle instead of double it. So just switch it a little bit higher, trying to hide the nailing caps. You're voiding the warranty, and most of the time shingles do blow off. And that's reason number 3 why we pay very close attention to how the shingles are made. So let's look very close what we have on the table today. So first thing first, I have my assistant Kelly with me here today, and me and Kelly are going to be paying close attention to 2 things. One is measuring the actual nailing zone where manufacturers wants us to nail, but 2, we're going to look how shingle is built and what's behind it. See, it's not only where the chalk line is or where a nailing zone is, it's also how the shingle is made important, because some manufacturers went extra mile and they want to make sure all asphalt shingles are made the same way. It's 2 pieces glued together. What's really important is that middle section, how wide it is. On some of them, it's smaller common bond area where 2 pieces meet each other, and wider zone. So even if you nail within a zone, you're only nailing 1 piece. So that's one of the really important characteristics. Me and Kelly are going to be writing down and documenting in our board, and at the end we'll come up with our chart, who is the best, who is the worst, in our humble opinion. Let's get it started. So the first one is Atlas, and to be honest with you, this is probably one of the first tests, it's number 5, where I'm actually not a big fan what Atlas done to their nailing zone. Technically, and it's hard to measure, I would say the nailing zone that we have here, it's about 1 inch and 1/8. So the next one is Owens Corning. Owens Corning is known for their patenting technology called Nail. Nailing zone is 1 inch. and common bond area 3/4. So 1 3/4 common bond area. Second one is Tamko Heritage. And now you guys already start seeing the difference. Where the first and second, while very different, you could at least clearly see the line. Right here, you see the line, but it's just like chalk line. And to be honest with you, on some colors, like this is probably one of the colors because it's so many granules and so many colors. Like on this one here, you barely can see the line. I mean, you can see it, but I wouldn't call it a great line. So as we go, I just decided to add visibility test just because we can. One more characteristics in a nailing zone itself, because I'm looking right now, it's like, why would I compare this to other one, not mentioning that one of them you can barely see. So common bond area here, 3/4. Certanteed is a little bit different story. So you do have really wide line, but it's not common bond area, and we still like it. So the first number, Kelly, is 1 3/4 for IKO. So what we have with IKO here, I want to say they did try to attempt to make it visible, but it's still not. I mean, the line is better than Tamko. You kind of have missing granules in the line, so I want to say like you somewhat understand where things are supposed to go, but it's not very clear. So Malarkey deserves a lot of credit with their nailing zone because they do go extra mile to make sure that overlap area is really wide. Unlike Certanteed, for example, where it's just chalk, but underneath it's actually much lower. So what do we have for them is 1 3/4 first number, and it's actually 1 3/4 second one. Clearly can see, clearly can understand. Malarkey, great job. So in this case right here, see Pabco, you know, never seen it before, just to review it as installer. Have to install it. You know, I do see an orange line. I guess I'll just nail it next to it, maybe a little bit higher, but what will happen if it's here? Who knows, right? So probably not proper. So again, not very, one of those cases where it's not very visible. You can understand if you're a roofer, but maybe it's just a color play with here. But overall, just slight orange line, not very clear. Common bond area, it's the same as everybody else, 3/4. So interesting enough, in the process of making this video, me and my team were traveling to IMG New Orleans, and sure enough, we have OC stand here, so we came and we didn't publish video yet, so it was perfect moment for us to add more footage to it. And I have my old friend Chad Sells, who's gonna help me. I picked him because he's a strong guy. He thinks he might beat me in arm wrestling. We already said it to the rest yesterday. He lost officially. Alright guys, so here's what we're gonna do in this video. We're gonna use OC stand here, and really like the idea, really like how they explain the difference in a nailing zone. So we're not gonna say names of the competition. What we're gonna do, we're gonna nail sure nail technology here.
Yeah, you hold the nail and I'll hit it.
I don't think I trust you there. Let's test them, how they, you know, tool test them. Quality of the shingle right there. I just want to look at these pieces right here. Look what happened to OC, and that sure nail pretty much kept it in one place. I mean, you have a tear here towards the end, but look at all of these pieces here.
Yeah, well, especially the piece that just tore.
Yeah, look at this. And that's why roofers love sure nail. So finally, we're here at the final stage, at the conclusion. And the one more edit I have to make is we're a little bit confused with the Atlas shingle here. The actual nail zone, according to manufacturers, is 1.5 inches, and you're supposed to nail not in between, but you can go on either side on the first line, which is a little bit confusing. It's not gonna be our favorite. That doesn't change overall score, but pretty much you can nail on the lower side or in the middle, but you're not supposed to go on the higher side. That's 1.5 inches. even with a thicker, bigger, you know, I would not consider it 1.5 inches. For the reason is because you don't want to nail in the middle, which is literally 1/4 inch. So technically you have 3/4 inch here, 3/4 inch here. It's still, I mean, let's call it 1.5 inches, but real zone it's 1.25 inch max. So here's the final results. So number 1 goes to Malarkey. They won last year as well. So second year in a row. All installers who've installed Malarkey products love their nailing zone. I mean, there's other complaints with the product, but nailing zone is undisputed. Number 1, it's 1.75 inches all the way. It's really easy to see. I mean, nobody makes better, easy to understand nailing zone than Malarkey. Second one goes to OC. Actually, we even nailed the shingle itself. We've been trying to pull them against the competitors. It is a huge difference. If you do it right, the nailing zone might not be the widest, but it's really clean to understand. Installers know exactly where the nail is gonna go, and when you actually try to pull, you feel the difference immediately. Shingle is harder to lift off the roof. So second place goes to OC. Third place goes to Certanteed. They are the widest, but the actual common bond area is only 3.25. So there's little discrepancies there. Not like Malarkey, for example, but still really good, really easy to understand. You know, really pretty much deserve third place here. Now Atlas, number 4, and that's the first test that Atlas is not in the top 3. So number 4, again, not bad. I would say there's some controversy with nailing zone. I don't want to say that roofers necessarily in love with it. I mean, that's the price you pay when you want to be innovative, when you want to be different. It's the only nailing zone they have a sealant at the front. Some people might argue that granule is going to get there and things like that. Also, the nail gun getting gummed up problem. But overall, it's right after first 3. So it's number 4. It's really wide though, so it's not bad. It's not our favorite. And number 4 in this test. So number 5 goes to ITO Cambridge. Number 6 goes to Pabco, and number 7 Tamko. And again, if you look number 7, number 1, you will see exactly what we're looking for. As a matter of fact, when we're doing at the OC booth and looking, you know, actual nailing and testing, just like in our studio here, the same thing. You cannot see the line, you cannot understand where you're supposed to nail. And for us, for all the community, for all the installers out there, we say it is important. We send a message to manufacturers, keep improving your nailing zone to make better product for us, to avoid warranty calls in the future. And results are results, they're in. This test will affect overall rating, unlike some others that, you know, like price can be questionable or weight can be questionable. Nailing zone cannot be questionable. If you're better, you're gonna be better overall. If you're worse, you're gonna be on a lower end overall. Hope it helps, and I will see you in the next comparison.